Sriman, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
One second. Yeah. Unmute చేయండి. Unmuted. Bashir or Sriman, can you hear us from here?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
I'm not asking you, students. One second. Bashir?
Madam Sriman here. Madam Sriman here.
ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నా పెట్టా నేను చార్ట్ చేయనప్పుడు పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ ఎవరు చూపించండి రెండే చూపిస్తాను ఏంటి పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ శ్రీమన్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఇది ఆఫ్ చేసుకున్నాడు అంతా వీడియో శ్రీమన్ యు ఆర్ మ్యూటెడ్ కెన్ యు హియర్ us
Yes, ma'am.
అన్మ్యూట్ చేశాడు I can't hear you Sriman.
Please maintain silence, my dear children. Keep quiet. Nobody should be upstairs. Everybody has to come downstairs.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. మా వాయిస్ వినిపిస్తుందా అంటే మేము ఫోన్ లో లాగిన్ అయ్యాము యాక్చువల్లీ ల్యాప్టాప్ లో వైఫై కనెక్ట్ అవ్వడం లేట్ అవుతుందని ఫోన్ లో స్టూడెంట్స్ చూపిస్తున్నాము ఫోన్ ఆడియో ఇష్యూ అయి ఉంటుంది అయితే
You can see కదా సుశీల మీద వస్తుంది నాది అదే అదే
ఆడియో
Yes, ma'am.
దీంట్లో కానీ వినపడుతుంది శ్రీమాన్
Yes, madam.
శ్రీమాన్
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can hear you, madam. వినిపిస్తుంది మీ వాయిస్ వినిపిస్తుంది నా వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదా
మీ వాయిస్ వినపడుతుంది వస్తుంది అయితే ఇప్పుడు
ఓకే ఓకే మ్యామ్
ఓకే ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది స్టూడెంట్స్
ల్యాప్టాప్ లో వీడియో
ఎక్కడన్నా No, this is not picking up the camera.
Joining problem, madam. Join it. Madam, camera detect.
అయితే పెట్టామో
మీ వీడియో
అది ఉంచుకుంటే ఏం ప్రాబ్లం
అదేం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు కానీ శాంత మేడం వీడియో శాంతి మేడం నా దగ్గర మెయిల్ లో ఉంది.
నాకు మెయిల్ పంపించండి. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ప్రొజెక్షన్ ఎలా అవుతుంది? దీన్ని కనెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చా ప్రొజెక్టర్కి? మీ మెయిల్ ఐడి చెప్పండి, మీ మెయిల్ లాగిన్ అవుతాము. దాంట్లో నుంచి చేయొచ్చు కదా. వాళ్ళ మెయిల్
వాళ్ళ టీం ప్లే చేయాలి. లింక్ ఉంది నా దగ్గర, మీకు మెయిల్ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తే మీరు
Boys, keep quiet.
ఇలాంటి కనెక్టివిటీ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉంటాయంటే దాంట్లో డౌన్లోడ్ చేసి పెట్టేస్తాను. ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఇది లేదు, వీడియో లేదు. శాంతి కుమార్ గారి ఇది కనెక్ట్ అవ్వట్లేదు కదా.
Yeah. Sriman, can we start recording? The principal sir is giving the opening remarks for the program, then I'll continue.
Once again, good evening, all of you. So, as you all know, today we all gathered here to attend a special program designed by UNICEF. And I feel it is a great privilege to invite a team of doctors, renowned doctors in Vijayawada. So they came over here in order to show you a PowerPoint presentation about women empowerment, how to prevent violence against women. So, Dr. Shailaja Garu, she is the secretary of Vijayawada Obstetric Society, WOS. And Dr. Sushila Garu, she is a doctor in Lata Super Speciality Hospitals. Dr. Chandana, fertility specialist, Swarupa Hospitals. Dr. Padmaja Garu, Padmaja Clinic, fertility specialist. And Dr. Lata Garu, Lata Hospitals, Bhavanipuram. So these are the team of doctors, very well-known doctors, obstetrics in Vijayawada. They came over here by spending their valuable time in order to educate you to the children, especially the school-going children. So, my dear children, so the program is going to start. You all of you please maintain silence, and you please try to be attentive, and definitely this program runs nearly 1.5 to 2 hours. Yeah.
Good evening, children. I am Dr. Shailaja. We are 330 gynecologists in Vijayawada OBG Society. All over India, we are 36,000 gynecologists. For the first time in history, this National Federation of Gynecological Societies of India is being headed by a Telugu lady, Dr. Shanta Kumari. Please maintain silence. Please maintain silence. She has worked hard for 6 years to bring this program to you, and now we are implementing it at ground level.
You please maintain silence, my dear children. Please listen. Instead of clapping and making noise, you please be attentive and listen. Try to listen.
Before we start our program, let us listen to Dr. Santa Kumari talk to you. Sriman, we are playing the video.
Dear friends, Foxians, and the women of my country, I'm Dr. Shanta Kumari, President of the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecological Societies of India. As a doctor and a woman myself, I've observed very closely how prevalent violence against women is across the strata of our society and the enormous impact it has on the health of our women. My theme for the year as a President Foxy is Foxy for all, always, and Dheera, stop violence against women. Dr. Shanta Kumari with well-testing family influential. I'm happy to be an ambassador for Foxy figure of 2030. And I know that we can imagine as motivated, lot of girls and very fun. Violence against women is a serious human
Is also Dheera, and we have a Twitter account called #Dheera Together. Not all men practice violence against women, but all women live with the threat of male violence every single day. This is global, all over there. This was said by Rod Algebaro. So by the end of the program, I think everybody should know that no woman should suffer from violence. And violence against women is a global human rights violation, and it causes short-term, long-term physical, economic, and psychological consequences. It prevents full participation of the woman in the society. The magnitude is immeasurable. Are you able to follow? Yeah. So the magnitude of violence against women is immeasurable, and it has increased during the pandemic due to lockdown, due to reduced mobility, isolation, stress, and economic problems. And there is an alarming spike in domestic violence also. Domestic violence, and it is at household. So you must be seeing like women beaten up, being threatened, being scolded at home, school, neighborhood. Did you see any time? Yeah. So, do you think this is right? Good, good. So, what is this behavior called, and is there any word to describe it? Yeah, it is called violence against women, and violence against women is the most shameful human right violation. It is a most widespread problem globally, and it knows no boundaries of geography, culture, or wealth. So, it is seen in more cultured families also. It is seen in more educated families also. As long as it continues, there is no real progress towards equality, development, and peace. Don't you think we need a gender neutral society? So what exactly is violence against women? Mental, sexual, physical trauma forcing a woman to live in fear. So the roots of violence against women are deep rooted in our society. So there are 5 points which we should know. What is violence against women? One is toxic masculinity, gender bias, sexism, patriarchal society, and gender stereotyping. So I think these terms are very difficult to understand. Like, are they
మేడం
like,
కనిపిస్తున్నారు మేడం కనిపిస్తుంది ఇది వెనక నుంచి పెట్టండి
like these terms are known to you or like they are new to you? Yeah. So I'll try to explain you in the next few slides. So Telugu అందరికీ వచ్చా? So toxic masculinity అంటే మగ అహంకారం. Okay. So patriarchal society అంటే ఆధిపత్యం. Okay. Gender bias అంటే లింగ వివక్ష. Sexism అంటే లింగ పక్షపాతము. Then gender stereotyping అంటే మూర్ఖత్వము. అంటే జెండర్ మీద మూర్ఖత్వము ఇలాగే ఉండాలి అనేది. ఓకే. సో gender bias is preference of males over females, and feticide and infanticide is one part of the gender bias, and neglected female health issues is also gender bias. So feticide, infanticide ante meeku telusa? Feticide ante getting abortion done because it is a girl baby. Infanticide is abandoning a girl baby. It's called infanticide. So children, do you think like is it right to do so? So patriarchy is a system of society or government in which men holds the power and women are largely excluded from decision making, both in society and also in the family. So gender stereotyping is నేను ఇందాక చెప్పాను కదా మూర్ఖత్వం అని, అంటే గర్ల్స్ ఇలాగే ఉండాలి బాయ్స్ ఇలాగే ఉండాలి అనడం మూర్ఖత్వం కదా. So in our society, like most of them think that girls should be faithful, emotional, tolerant, sympathetic, dependent, and boys are competitive, logical, strategic, aggressive, and independent. So don't you think girls are competitive, they are independent, they are logical? Yeah. So there should not be any stereotyping. It should be a gender neutral society. Next is sexism. It is a discrimination typically against women based on the sex and gender. And toxic masculinity. And inda cheppan kada ahankaramu ani. So I am a man, I am strong, I don't cry, I can control, I am the boss, I am the savior. Is this true? Even girls are strong, they don't cry, they are independent, they are most of the places they are the boss, they are the team leaders. So this is ill health to say. This is not a good mental health. So why doctors are here to talk to you? This is because gynecologists are point of contact who can recognize changes in the lifestyle. Most of the health problems are related to violence against women, and even in the pregnancy, many patients do come with this problem of women against violence. So why Dheera? Why we have started this project? This is a campaign founded by Foxy President Dr. Shantakumari to stop violence against women. And this is a campaign to sensitize, orient, and train the students by gynecologists. 36,000 and above gynecologists are trying to do so. And our target is to cover 5 lakh boys and girls from 9th to 12th grade, and also 15,000 plus teachers to sensitize with this campaign. So she's Dr. Shantakumari, launched this program. And the violence against women should be taught to boys from the household. They should know how to respect women, and teachers learn to respect women because we'll be watching, they'll be waiting, and also listening at the house. And let us be courageous together, and let us say no to violence against women. Let us tweet at #Dheera together. And let us be one among the voices. And our target is 1 lakh tweets. So add your courageous voice to this conversation. Will you do? Yeah. So do your post test after this session and get your certificates. So this completes the first PowerPoint. I'll go to the second one. So boys, did you understand what I've told in the last 10 minutes? So you should bring the change. You should educate at your home also. And girls, you also should tell your, maybe at your home, your parents, your neighbors, your cousins, everybody, that we should get gender neutral society. I'm going to talk on the types of violence against women. So it may be physical violence, psychological violence, and combination of it. So the physical violence includes acid attacks, honor killings, femicide, and sexual violence. So do your registration, do your post test and give your feedback. So in physical violence, so first is acid attack. So she is Mrs. Lakshmi Agarwal. She was disfigured because of she rejected a person who was 32 years old, and her face has been disfigured because that person has poured acid on her because she has rejected. So I think this you must have all seen in a film called Chakok enacted by Deepika Padukone. So she is one of the ambassadors of this educational program against violence, for violence against women. And acid attack is a form of assault involving throwing a corrosive substance, and sometimes it is also used just to blackmail. So if a person has been threatened, report to the trusted adult and police. Make sure to stay away from that person and travel along with the others. And it is punishable under section 326 IPC with imprisonment not less than 5 years, extend to 7 years, and is also punishable, finable. Okay. So this is when somebody threatens, but if anybody is attacked,
The recording it kada
make sure to get the
మనకు ఆన్లైన్
treatment
లో
as
రికార్డ్
soon as
అవుతా
possible. Talk to the
ఉంటుంది
parents, teachers, police, and everyone impressed, and make sure that you stay away from that person. And it is punishable under section 326 IPC,
మేము మా
leading to imprisonment not less than 10 years, and also leading to life imprisonment. Finable and expenses are to be borne by the attacker. So honor killing, and honor killing is a Paruha calendar. Okay, this honor killings you must have seen in some movies also. Like Rangasthalamlo ఉంటుంది. So murder of an individual, either an outsider or a member of the family, this is done thinking that it protects the reputation of the family. అంటే పరువు పోతుంది అని చెప్పి చంపడం అన్నమాట. So do anybody think that doing a murder brings repute to the family? Yeah. In fact, it brings disrepute to the family, and it should not be encouraged by anyone. So femicide is a gender-based crime, arises when society prefers males over females, and women-based hate crime. So infanticide is killing of a newborn female child. Feticide is abortion of a fetus based on. Okay, I've already told you, abandoning a girl child or getting aborted because it's a girl child. So అసలు స్త్రీ లేని సమాజం ఉంటే అసలు పురోగతి ఉంటుందా? ఉండదు. సో సో మనం చాలా మూవీస్ లో చూస్తాం కదా, హీరో చెప్తూ ఉంటాడు తల్లి కావాలి, చెల్లి కావాలి, తర్వాత గర్ల్ ఫ్రెండ్ కావాలి, మరి ఆడపిల్ల ఎందుకు వద్దు, ఆడపిల్ల ఎందుకు వద్దు అని. కరెక్టే కదా, స్త్రీ లేని సమాజమే లేదు, నెక్స్ట్ జనరేషన్ ఉండదు కదా, అలాంటప్పుడు ఎందుకు వద్దు అనుకోవాలి. సో దిస్ violence should be stopped. So sexual assault is an act in which a man sexually touches a woman and compels her to get naked. It is punishable.
It leads to mental trauma to the woman. And you all know about the Nirbhaya, Disha, Nirbhaya to Disha. Yeah. And this basically covers women against any type of rape, against sexual harassment, and against unwanted physical contact. But there is another act called POCSO Act 2012. It protects both girls and boys who are minors from sexual abuse. So protection of children against sexual offences. That is POCSO Act in government. That is a gender neutral act. It covers both male and female, minors. So if you are a survivor of such a sexual assault, do not shame yourself. You are not to be blamed. You are not at fault. Don't take bath because it washes off the evidences, and don't change your clothes. Write down the consequences of events because you have to inform to the police. Report to the police in a timely manner before all the evidences are lost, and don't be afraid to speak up as you are not at fault. And if you don't speak up, the same thing can happen to you and your friends too. So you need to speak up. So తప్పలేదు కాబట్టి డెఫినెట్గా బయటికి రావాలి, చెప్పాలి, మళ్ళీ తిరిగి జరగకుండా చూడాలి. So psychological violence, physical violence చెప్పాను కదా, psychological violence of financial manipulation. So financial manipulation అంటే even though the women earn, she is made to be dependent for finances. So ఇక్కడ ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పారన్నమాట. Raj monitors his wife Ananya's bank account and Ananya has to depend on each and every pie that she has to spend. So the this is called financial manipulation, and this also comes under violence against women. Next is the emotional abuse, undermining a person's sense of self-worth through constant criticism, name calling, damaging a partner's relationship with children, blaming, humiliating, embarrassing. ఇవన్నీ కూడా it is causes emotional abuse. So ఇక్కడ మళ్ళీ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇచ్చారనమాట. Shreya is married to Ashok. Ashok earns less than Shreya. So every time he feels low because he is earning less, and he irritates Shreya. So do you think this is right? Yeah. So she can as well inform the police if it becomes more at house and she needs some help. So bullying is continuous harassment either verbally or physically, and this can be in the form of ragging, bullying. And one of the examples here is Neil is a singer to Ria, and then Ria has rejected him. And rejected Gabati, he starts throwing eggs on her, pouring water on her homework, all this. So what should Ria do? Yeah, she has to complain to the teachers, she has to inform the parents, then comes police, not us. So cyberbullying is online form of bullying and abuse, and technology is to write aggressive, embarrassing, hateful messages, threatening, sharing unwanted messages, creating fake accounts, sharing sexual explicit messages. All this come under cyberbullying. So movies lo kuda chusta untaru kada ila cyberbullying jarigindi ani. So what can you do if you are cyberbullying? So check your platform anti-bullying policy. So if it's Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, okay, anti-bullying policy ఉంటుందన్నమాట. And get in contact with the customer service, take all the screenshots before blocking and reporting, and file a criminal complaint at the cyber investigation cell. This can be reported in any city. Suppose you are in any other city, you can inform that police. And if you are unable to report to the cyber cell, you can lodge FIR or reach the she teams and female police. So stalking is when an individual follows a woman and repeatedly tries to contact her without her consent. This can occur digitally also, and this is punishable under section 354 IPC for 1 to 3 years and finable. One second. Yeah. So voyeurism is watching and taking pictures of a woman without consent and without the knowledge of the woman. This is also punishable under section 354 IPC for 1 to 3 years and repeated in 3 to 7 years. I think this also you must have seen in one of the movies. Drishyam. Yeah. So this also comes under violence against women, and it is punishable. So teasing, unwanted remarks, sexual advances by a man to insult in a public place called teasing. This is also punishable under 2 acts. And criminal intimidation is when someone is threatening to cause death, hurt grievously, or to destroy your property. This is also punishable under IPC. And sexual harassment is unwelcome sexual advances, requests for the sexual favors, sexual remarks, showing pornography without consent. This is punishable under 354 IPC. And here an example is given. And one of the farmer, because he's not able to, he has taken loan, not able to repay. So he sends his daughter to work under the owner. And the owner takes an advantage. So this also comes under violence against women. She can as well report to the police. And combination of physical and psychological violence is a domestic violence. And domestic violence is in household. And then any pattern of behavior used to gain or maintain the power or control over the partner is called domestic violence. And most of the times, the victim doesn't know that violence is being on her because she trusts the partner so much. So for 4 or 5 cycles of the violence, she will not be knowing that violence is going on her. And it may be harassment from the in-laws also. And violence can never contain love. But it should be known that in the household, if there is violence, it is not love. So some of the examples are emotional abuse, economic abuse, and then blaming, isolation, all this come under domestic violence. And this is a slide which shows a cycle of abuse. That is, he creates tension, then he explodes, and then he tries to console her, and then he's very lovable at one point. Again, this circle goes on, causing violence on the woman. And Domestic Violence Act has come into vogue in 2005, covers physical, sexual, verbal, economic abuse, and grants immediate protection to the woman and punishes the abuser with imprisonment of 3 years and ending war at one step at a time. So we have come as in front of you, and we are sensitizing you in hundreds. So this is one step we are putting forward to create awareness to sensitize you all. And do your post test and also fill the feedback form. Get the certificate which is awarded by the UNICEF and Foxy. Be courageous. Say no to violence against women. And let's speak together at #Dheera. And let us build a voice against violence against women. Our target is 1 lakh tweets. And be courageous and say no to violence. Thank you all.
How many of you have Twitter accounts? Wow. So what are you going to do tomorrow? #Dheera together. No to violence against women. I hope with your support we'll reach the target of 1 lakh tweets in Twitter. Silence now. Anyone of you want to come forward and speak? Your picture is being taken by UNICEF. This is being live recorded on YouTube. Anyone student who comes forward, this is a live recording by YouTube. We'll be sending you the link. You can please see the recording again. It's easy to shout in a group. It's difficult to come forward and speak. Huh? Who has the courage to come forward and speak? గుంపులో అరవడం చాలా ఈజీ అమ్మా. మొత్తం అందరు సైలెంట్ అయ్యి one person who wants to come forward and speak. Girls have more courage. Any girl who wants to prove that? Who are the class leaders here? No class leaders.
Please maintain silence.
Silence children. Now Dr. Padmaja is going to speak to you. Dr. Lata is going to speak to you. If you come across such an act, what you should be doing, who you should be reporting, and there are some subtle things here. You'll be able to catch only if you maintain silence and observe carefully. We'll be asking you to show that signal later.
Hello children, good evening everybody. Previously, Dr. Sushila has described the different types of violence against women which we come across in our society. Now I'll be describing some of the management techniques, how we have to deal when we see a person being harassed by an abuser. So we'll be speaking about these management protocols and also about the role of the bystanders. That is the person who is present in the scene and what he should do to save the victim. So what are the factors that contribute to violence against women? The main factors being the gender bias and the social discrimination. We come across the gender bias in our society, not only in our society, but also in our families and in our surroundings and in our neighborhood. So we see that the girls are being treated inferiorly when compared to the boys. So every time the boys are given the upper hand. So that should be banned or that should be stopped. And also, apart from that, the excess of alcohol abuse, drug abuse by the man can cause this violence against women. So in such situations, the person is disturbed by his mind and he tries to cause violence against the women. Also, the superiority complex of the man also plays an important role to contribute for violence against women. Suppose the man has a troubled childhood. In his childhood, he saw women being beaten up. His mother or the sister or a cousin being beaten up by a male person. That has some impact on his mind, and he tries to do the same when he grows up. So all these should be kept in mind. Such things should not happen in front of children because it has a bad impact on that person when he grows up. So the violence against women mindset is nurtured since the childhood, and based on that, the child is brought up. So we should see that చిన్నప్పుడు పిల్లలకి బ్యాడ్ హ్యాబిట్స్ కానీ ఇట్లాంటి విమెన్ మీద అత్యాచారం జరగటం కానీ విమెన్స్ ని కొట్టడం కానీ ఆడపిల్లల్ని తక్కువగా చూడటం కానీ అట్లాంటి జరగకూడదు. అండ్ ద బాయ్స్ షుడ్ నో that the girls and boys are equal in the society. Then only this violence will be decreased. So what do you do if you know someone is being abused? Children, please listen to this. This is a very important topic. So what do you do if you know someone being abused? So first of all, don't be afraid. అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు మీ ఫస్ట్ అఫ్రైడ్ అవ్వకూడదు. యూ షుడ్ బి courageous to deal with it. Listen to the victim story and reassure them to stay brave. You should be brave and you ask the victim to be brave also. You give her a helping hand. Believe their story. Do not blame the victim. And keep an eye on the situation to make sure it is not getting too dangerous. So ask about their immediate plans. ఎప్పుడైనా ఇప్పుడు ఫైట్ ఆఫ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఉంది, ఒక మేల్ పర్సన్ ఫీమేల్ పర్సన్ ని హెరాస్ చేయడం కానీ టీజ్ చేయడం కానీ ఏదైనా జరిగినప్పుడు వీ షుడ్ సపోర్ట్ ద విక్టిమ్. అమ్మాయిని సపోర్ట్ చేయాలి అండ్ వీ షుడ్ స్టే విత్ హర్ అండ్ షుడ్ టుగెదర్ ఫైట్ ద సిచ్యువేషన్ అండ్ షుడ్ కంట్రోల్ ద అబ్యూజర్ ఆర్ ద person causing harassment. And we should ask about their immediate plans. Victim ni manam adagali what she wants the next step to be done. Because we should direct her to support her and direct her to give a complaint to the immediate seniors, immediate elder people or to the police. Especially in a school environment, if such thing happens, we should immediately inform to the teacher or the principal and next to the police. And respect their decision. And be careful that any actions taken do not harm you or the victim. So what to do if you are being abused? ఇప్పుడు వరకు మనం వినండి అవతల విక్టిమ్ ఎవరైనా అబ్యూస్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలనేది మనం మాట్లాడుకున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు what to do if you are being abused. So recognize the toxic behavior of the cycle of abuse. ఇందాక డాక్టర్ గారు చెప్పినట్టు అబ్యూస్ అనేది ఎక్కడ సొసైటీలోనే కాదు, ఒకసారి ఫ్యామిలీలో కూడా జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో ఒక ఫ్యూ డేస్ హ్యాపీగా ఉంటారు, ఫ్యూ డేస్ పోట్లాడుకుంటా ఉంటారు, ఫ్యూ డేస్ చిన్న చిన్న ఇష్యూస్ వచ్చినా కూడా ఆడపిల్లల్ని తిట్టడం కానీ కొట్టడం కానీ చేస్తారు. సో వీ షుడ్ రికగ్నైజ్ దట్ అండ్ వీ షుడ్ స్టాప్ దట్ అబ్యూస్ and we should get away from that situation. So protect yourself by living from the vicinity of the abuser. ఇలాంటి జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు ఆ ప్లేస్ నుంచి మనం వెళ్ళిపోవాలి. Okay. So avoid escalating situation. We should not provoke the perpetrator or the person who is harassing. We should వాళ్ళు ఏదో కామెంట్స్ చేయటం కానీ తిట్టడం కానీ గట్టిగా మాట్లాడటం కానీ చేస్తే ఆ పర్సన్ ఇంకా ఎక్కువ యాక్టివేట్ అవుతాడు, ఇంకా ఎక్కువ హార్మ్ చేసే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. సో వీ షుడ్ అవాయిడ్ ఎస్కలేటింగ్ ఎ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ అండ్ వీ షుడ్ రిపోర్ట్ ద ఇన్సిడెంట్ ఇమీడియట్లీ టు ద seniors, to the elder people present in our vicinity. We should keep evidence of the abuse by recording and photographing. ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో టెక్నాలజీ పెరిగేసరికి అందరి దగ్గర స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇలాంటి అబ్యూస్ జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు we should try to record the situation so that it will be helpful in further proceedings in the next after complaining to the police or the elder people. So we should plan a safety kit in case you have to leave your home in a hurry. Safety kits are very important for the girls especially, because when they go out, if they have to go out for certain reasons, for meetings gani, for tuitions gani, etaina sare single ga elnappudu safety kit lo compulsory chili sprays pettukotam gani, these are easily available. Chili spray gani, simple chinna whistle gani, ఇవన్నీ పెట్టుకోవటం వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ ఫేస్ చేసినప్పుడు వీ కెన్ ఈజీలీ కంట్రోల్ ద అబ్యూజర్. చిల్లీ స్ప్రే వాడి మొక్క మీద వేస్తే he will be having some problem with his eyes and he won't do the abusing things. And also if you blow the whistle, you will attract the other people surrounding you, so the abuser will get away from that place and will be
Dr. Hemant
safe. And let someone if something happens and that girl భయపడి silent గా ఉండటం వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, that abuser, that person who tried to abuse that girl, he tries to abuse some other people also, so other girls also. So he అబ్బాయి ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాడు సొసైటీలో. సో we should speak out. Don't let the abuser rob your voice. Claiming your voice back is very difficult. అలా కంప్లైంట్ చేయడం అనేది చాలా డిఫికల్ట్. అందరూ ఏమంటారు, నన్ను బుక్ చేస్తారేమో, నన్ను మాట్లాడుతూ పోలీస్ స్టేషన్ పిలుస్తారేమో, ఇట్లాంటి డౌట్స్ అన్ని వస్తాయి. ఈవెన్ దట్ యూ షుడ్ బి ద ఫస్ట్ వన్ టు స్పీక్ అవుట్, బికాస్ ఇఫ్ యూ స్పీక్ అవుట్ దెన్ ద అబ్యూజర్ బికమ్స్ సైలెంట్ అండ్ he tries to avoid such abusing again in the future. So by speaking out, you are saving the other girls from getting abused by that person. So take a stand, because of your abuser is afraid of your voice. So don't let down another generation of victims. Give the victim a platform to speak. Encourage the victim to speak out what happened so that the harasser or the abuser becomes silent. Believe the victim. Don't blame the victim. Stand up for justice. Don't let people forget that once someone commits abuse, they are prone to doing it again and again. So because of the improving technology, we have many apps in the app stores. We can download in our smartphones like these with you, Scream Alarm, Be Safe, Abhaya, etc. These apps should be downloaded in your smartphone and you should know how it acts, how it works, so that if you are in a difficult situation, you can immediately on that put an alarm in the app. So also share your live location with those you trust. Whenever you are going alone, especially to the girls, whenever you are going alone somewhere, you should share your live location with your family members or your cousin or your friends. So that if anything happens to you, immediately that people, the parents or the friends may know where you are located. And also when you are going in a taxi, always take the photograph of the taxi person driver and the license plate and try to share with your friends and the parents so that if any untoward thing happens, the driver can be traced out and you can be safe. So in case of emergency, activate the location and the app. So coming to this distress signal, you might be knowing about this distress signal. You have to fold your thumb inside towards the palm and then fold all the four fingers and cover the thumb. This is the distress signal. This indicates that the person who is doing this is under distress and we should save them. So in such certain conditions, they might not be able to speak out or say loud that she or that girl is in danger. She may simply do this thing. So we should understand that something is wrong with that girl and we should immediately go and save that girl. So all of you, please show the distress sign. Come in and cover with the four fingers. This is the distress sign. And this sign should be explained to your near and dear people, to your neighbors and all friends also. So that whenever they see this symbol, they should get alert and then save that girl. And if you see the distress signal, what you should do? If you see the signal, check it with the person's safety to find out what they need and what you can do. ఇలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ ఫేస్ చేసినప్పుడు అక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది whether you can help them out, whether you can help that girl out from the dangerous situation, or you need somebody others help, you should find out. And in such situation, if you find a threat of danger, call the local police and the helplines mentioned later. I'll show you the helplines. So if you can handle yourself, you try to handle. Otherwise, you take the help of the police or the elder people surrounding you. So these are the contact numbers which are very important. You should always save them in your cell phones so that whenever required, you will be having immediately the cell numbers so that you can contact them and lodge a complaint. Especially the Women's Domestic Abuse Helpline 181 and the All India Women's Helpline, Women in Distress 1091. Okay. In the same way, these are the other helplines like child abuse helpline, that is 1098, 1098. That should be remembered. And the domestic violence helpline, that is 0800 150 150. These are the simple numbers, few numbers you have to get used accustomed to it so that in a case of distress or these dangerous situations don't come with an intimation. They happen anytime, they can happen anytime. So you should be well versed with these numbers, at least few numbers, so that anytime when such situation comes, you should immediately contact that number and report that something is going wrong in that place, so that the help reaches on time and the abuser is caught and punished. So what is the reporting process? Report the incident to the local police or the special police unit which is active 24/7 and record the statement for police within 24 hours so that you might not miss any incident in the sequence. Go to the hospital or the shelter home for medical examination by the female doctor and record the statement for the magistrate also. And these special courts shall complete the trial within 1 year and the abuser or the perpetrator can be punished immediately. So girls are strong not only physically but they are psychologically also they are very strong. In any situation they can easily handle that difficult situation when compared to the boys. So let us keep them that way. Let us keep the girls strong. You should not try to suppress the girls. Okay, did you understand this? Energy level. So everybody say No to violence against women. So now, please be silent. So we have seen how we have to complain and all. Now we'll be talking about on the role of the active bystander. Who are the bystanders? The bystander is an individual who observes an act of violence, discrimination, or other problematic behavior, but are not its direct perpetrator. So the person act the person who are available surrounding the place, they are called the bystanders. These bystanders can be active or passive. Sometimes those bystanders who take action and try to stop the process of abuser who is harassing the girl, they are called the active bystanders. And those who are passive, most of them they try to go away from the scene of harassment which is going on. Those are called the passive bystanders. The passive bystanders they simply go away because they have. Please, everybody, be silent. Students, please be silent and listen to the topic. So these the weapons of active bystanders are the 5 Ds. What they should do, active bystanders, they should first D is the distract. So it's a subtle and safe way to interview. The aim is to interrupt and derail the incident. ఒక ఇన్సిడెంట్ హెరాస్మెంట్ కానీ అబ్యూజింగ్ కానీ జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు దట్ ఇన్స్టెంట్ active bystander just goes to the scene and asks the perpetrator or the abuser what is the time, or just tries to put on a conversation with the perpetrator so that the situation is diverted and there is a time for the girl to escape or run away from the situation. In that way, the person is goes into safety. So another is the D is for delay. So delay can reduce the severity after if she is okay, and try to accompany her to her destination or sit with her for a while, so that the victim becomes a little bit relaxed and she tries to recollect what happened and can easily report to the police in a sequential manner. The third day is the delegate. Delegation is when you ask for assistance for a resource or for help from a third party. If you are in a place where harassment is going on, and it is near a shop, you try to call the shopkeeper for help. Or if you are in a bus and such thing is happening, you can ask your bus conductor for the both assistance. This is called the delegation. So documentation is another. You should put on the internet because it causes bad effect on the victim. Never post it online. Publicizing another person's traumatic experience is no way an effective bystander. So the fifth B is the direct. Directly respond to harassment by naming what is happening or confronting the harasser. This can be risky. The harasser may redirect the abuse towards you. It may escalate the situation. Means అలా హరాస్మెంట్ జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా పర్పెట్రేటర్ మీద అటాక్ చేయడం అట్లాంటివి చేయడం అనేది డైరెక్ట్ యాక్టివ్ బైస్టాండర్. But it has to be, you must have the courage as well as strength to face the perpetrator. So you should be clear, confident, but so the golden rule is only intervene if it's safe for you to do so. If not safe, call the police 100 or the helpline, child helpline, that is 1098. Okay. So more ways to get involved is organized actions like writing stories, posters, and different matters. So you can train the other people about this wrong things which is happening in the society and how to tackle such situations. Appreciate someone practicing bystander intervention. If you know some organization is working for it, donate your time and ideas. So the wrong things to say, why did she go at night? Why did she park the scooter there? Why did she go alone? Why did she call her sister instead of 100? So victim blaming should not be there and it should never be there because never a victim wants to get harassed by anyone. She her situation is taken up by the abuser as an advantage and tries to harass her. So after this completion of the session, you should complete the course test and the feedback so that you'll get a prestigious certificate from prestigious UNICEF and FOX. So courageous together say no to. Very good.
Once again, can all of you raise your hands and show us the universal distress signal? That's great. And one girl can come forward and tell me what are the 5 Ds? At least one D every girl. No chorus answers. No chorus answers. Tell me one D.
Destruction. Mandraka.
Claps for her. She has told us the D distract.
Direct.
Very good. Another D. Come. Yes. Tell me your name first.
Neha.
Yeah. Will tell me all the 5 Ds? Okay, one D.
Document and
What is document? What you should do? Telling the Okay. One D is document. Another D?
direct. Delete. Distract. Deleted.
Very good. Excellent. Class one has. Your name is
Neha.
Neha. Look at madam. Your picture is being sent to UNICEF. Neha had the courage to come forward. Her picture is being sent to UNICEF. Anybody else who wants to get photographed? Okay. What is the child helpline number? Because, oh, one second, you're raising your hands. Yes.
098. It's a child helpline number. Savitri.
What is the domestic violence number?
01550.
Very good. Your name? Oh, that's okay. Now Dr. Padmaja is going to speak about bridging the gender divide. Listen carefully. Boys, this is for you. Hello. I know it's been a long day, hot evening, but now we have the cool breeze coming in, and I hope you'll give me 15 minutes of your time and I will be brief. Okay, shall we start? So this initiative is by Foxy President Dr. Shankumar Garu, and you've already done the registration and the pre-test. Please do the post-test and the feedback. And if you're silent, we can go ahead. Otherwise, we'll be stuck here till midnight. Okay. Huh? Okay. So then, can I have some silence, please? Otherwise, one of you, whoever is making noise, you can come and do this presentation. We will sit and listen to you all. Do you want to do that? So
looking at different sexes and different genders, it starts right from how a person is named. If a person is named Lakshmi, it is obviously a girl. If someone is named Shankar, it's obviously a boy. But it doesn't really have to be that way. We can have gender neutral names. Kushi can be a boy, it can be a girl. You can have Nayan as a boy or girl. So we tend to categorize something about someone based right from their name. And do you think a person looking at their traits, should you say it's the feminine behavior and masculine behavior? Dr. Sushila had already covered this topic, but what we tend to do is we tend to attribute the leadership for mechanical, ambitious, competitive, aggressive roles to boys, and creative, artistic, gentle characters to girls. But all of us are a mix of all characters. It is what is our strength and our weakness. So this conditioning is in our culture, and the media and films always reward violent behavior. In most of the movies you see, it's the hero who's clashing with the villains. You don't see the heroine clashing with all the villains. So that is just a gender stereotype, but when women are strong, they can always do that. And the parents are more likely to use physical punishment with boys. And whenever girls are shown aggressive behavior or leadership opinion, they're not encouraged. That is what we're trying to break, and that is why we want girls to come forward and speak. And this is a social evil. In our society also, women are oppressed officially and unofficially. Discrimination starts young when girls are expected to do household works. Most of the time in the house, when it is like cutting vegetables or setting the table or filling the laundry clothes, the parents automatically assume that the girl will help the mother. And the mother will be doing it. But it doesn't have to be that way. And workplace discrimination causes pregnant women to fire. It's a massive wage gap. And as such, no woman is safe from sexual harassment with intimacy. Most of the time, you see, we live in a place, Vijayawada, where goddess Durga is the deity. So women are considered goddesses. But still, every tiny bit of misbehavior is frowned upon. And this is not level playing field because girls and women do not have equal access to education. In some countries, they don't have voting rights. Child marriages in Saudi are prevalent. Women are not visitors. And we want a gender neutral, gender responsive and equal society. That is why for the boys, whatever we said, violence, it's not enough that you do violence. It is that you reach the helping hand when there is a need. So that all move together in a gender neutral society. And for that we have 8 steps, and the girls answered the 5 Ds. The boys are going to answer the 8 steps. So be alert. So what we want is everyone should share the care. Women do more than 3 times complete domestic work. They spend their energy and emotional labor with the family instead of just looking after themselves. So what we need to do is appreciate them unconditionally. Respect the sacrifices that are being made for you. Offer help whenever it is necessary. And do give some time out to your mother so that she can do what she wants. And it is every one of you is responsible for your behavior. If you're not listening, if you're getting distracted, if you're punching someone, it is you who are responsible for that. So be aware of your own behavior, and whenever there is a criticism, listen to it and see, is there something that I can change in myself? And the notions of toxic masculinity have to be changed, because it is okay if you feel something bad, if you express weakness, if you lean on someone, if something hurts you, to cry out. And so you should have the courage to break free from the bonds and challenge the stereotypes. So it should be that a sensitive sensible man is what is respected and not just a fellow who crushes everyone. And this sensitive man will change the next generation. And it is the responsibility of parents, teachers, and girls to also realize that men can be anxious, have emotions, insecure, and they struggle. And the most important thing is we respect the other's choices and examine our bias and don't judge and shame them for their choices. And we need to understand concept of consent. If you're okay with something, only then say yes. Don't take consent as implied. And you can never ever say boys will be boys, that's why they're unruly. It is not acceptable behavior. Um, as my former speakers, Dr. Lata said, never blame the victim. And whenever you see an act that is sexist, do call out and stop the harassment. And be an active bystander. Don't excuse friends, relatives, or co-workers. We need to challenge the gender stereotyping and counter the arguments that are stupid, like women are not good at driving, because women can also be equally good drivers. Whatever it is, we need to listen to the survivor story. Someone was a victim. It took a lot of courage for them to come out and tell us that something bad has happened to me. So listen, believe, and support. Be an ally and give unconditional support. We need to change the dialogues because whenever we thank women, it is always said women housework, women stay at home. So that is not what we want. We want women to be able to go out on the living, have the freedom to do exactly what they want, and we need gender neutral society. Women can be anything. So it is our responsibility to support them. You've already done the pre-test, using the posters, and because your feedback, adding your voice to not saying no to violence against women and the tweets. We are looking forward to that. I'll finish off briefly with one more topic that as young people you uh, come across, and that is peer pressure. So, in the highlights in this are identifying the toxic environment, knowing good versus bad touch, the concept of consent which I had touched upon, and the power of no. If you see this, there are people who are bruised. A person walks into the crowd just because other people are bruised, he thinks it's fashionable and goes and hits himself and gets bruised. It's like you don't believe in tattoos, but you see all your friends are having tattoos, so you just go and get tattooed. So that is the type of peer pressure. But what we want is that it's subtle and it has huge effects. We want you to have a positive peer pressure. That means your friend is studying well. In math, she's always scoring 100, 200. So you can feel the pressure and try to score equally good. So that competitive spirit, that positive attitude is what we want you to learn from your friends and not a negative one like going against the moral code. And this peer pressure can be spoken, unspoken, direct, or indirect. And it is a toxic environment where your friends make you feel bad about themselves, and you have a one-sided relationship which they don't respect you, and they encourage your worst traits. So I can see a group of people there who are doing that. And importantly, avoid uncomfortable situation. You're all going out, but you know in your heart of heart, this is not what I want to do. So you can get out of the situation. There is absolutely no need to go through with that. And that is because you can avoid going out with strangers. Make sure your parents know where you are. Take your phone with you. Draw boundaries and say no to anything you're not comfortable with. If you're in danger, don't hesitate to call the police by dialing 100. And learn to differentiate toxic people and step away from them. And that is one of the basic steps to clean this up. As I said, learn to put yourself first. Set boundaries you're comfortable with. So if you're going out with a group of friends, you've gone out to have a cup of coffee or an iced tea, and then they say, let us bunk school, let us go to a movie, and then let us go to a party. But you know in your heart of heart, that's not right. So you need to tell them, my mother will be waiting for me, she's given me a deadline, I'm supposed to be home by 10 o'clock. So we just can always distract them and say that. And all of you know what is a good touch and bad touch. Anything that makes you feel comfortable, and most likely the only good touch that is allowed is in the hands. So even patting on the back or hugging, only if you know the person very well and you're comfortable with it, you can allow it. But never ever allow anyone under any circumstances to touch your private parts like breasts, because that can lead to very long-term consequences. So the concept of consent is that, like, if someone is doing something, they need to take your permission to do that. They just can't do that. So this concept, and even the boy should not assume just because the girl smiles at you, talks to you, that she's giving consent for you to be rude to her. And it is important that we stand up to peer pressure, we change the subject, we can suggest a better idea, use humor, you can use make up excuses and be the same. So what we want is we dream of a better future, a future generation. We want change, and we want everyone to be treated equally. So when we want to see the change after 40 years, when we want it now, yes, we want to change now. And the change will start from where? Will someone else come and do it? No. You have to change, you have to take control, and you want the change to come from you. But, and Malala said, I want every girl to know that her voice can change the world. So what we want is be able to speak up. And as we said, you've already done your pre-test. Please do the post-test and give the feedback. And very sincerely thank to the college, your school management for making such great arrangements on an evening with all of you. We thank all the children who are here, and we sincerely give our thanks to all those who worked on this project and all these artists together. So let's be together, courageously say no to violence against women, and that is what we are looking for. We want to change. We want to change coming from you. Thank you.
At the outset, let me thank your principal, sir. Actually, I made so many calls to him, put up so many messages to him. He put up with me. Yeah, he is a courageous girl who wants to speak.
Good evening. First of all, I would like to thank the team of doctors on behalf of all my friends for sparing their valuable time to educate us on such an important topic, violence against women. Violence against women is the topic of the hour all over the world, not only in India. People must be educated enough and come forward to know that violence against women is such an important topic. People must also be aware of it very well.
What's your name?
Pujita.
Pujita. Go ahead.
Let everybody come forward, step out, and talk about this. Be aware of it, and let them know that must be it must be known by everyone. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pujita. Yes, here's another boy. Silence, children. Here's another boy who's coming forward to speak. ఏం పర్లేదు, తెలుగు ఇంగ్లీష్ ఏదైనా సరే, ఏమనిపిస్తే అది మాట్లాడు. నువ్వు సినిమా పేర్లు చెప్పినా వింటాం.
Good evening to all.
ఏం కాదు, ఏం భయం లేదు, నీకు ఏమనిపిస్తే అది మాట్లాడు. వాళ్ళు అరిచారని పట్టించుకోవద్దు, వాళ్ళకి ధైర్యం లేదు ముందుకు రావడానికి. ఏం అర్థమైంది చెప్పు. నీకు ధైర్యం ఉంది, నువ్వు ముందుకు వచ్చావు, వాళ్ళకి ధైర్యం లేదు, వాళ్ళు ముందుకు రాలేదు. మాట్లాడు. నీ పేరు చెప్పు ఫస్ట్. నవతేజ, గో హెడ్.
ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆడవాళ్ళని రక్షించడానికి స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం.
Children, those of you who are shouting, if you are courageous enough like Navateja, please come forward onto the stage or else keep silent. Navateja is courageous enough to come forward. He is speaking. Listen to him. He is one among you.
ఎవరైనా ఆడవాళ్ళని బాధ పెడుతుంటే చూస్తే ఫోన్లో పోలీసులకు కాల్ చేస్తే పోలీసుల కన్నా లేదా ఎవరికన్నా ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేయాలి. అప్పుడు మీరు వాళ్ళకి ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేశాక ఆ వ్యక్తిని కేర్ఫుల్ గా వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి చేర్చాలి.
Excellent, Navateja. Round of applause for Navateja. Photo తీయండి. లక్క ఫోటో తీయండి.
Good evening to all the doctors who gathered here and all the student management and my dear friends. And I wish all the students who are here to live in the whole country and the world to follow the reasons which were given by our respectable doctors. And let us even when everyone when any of us were abused, call for helplines and which were shared by our doctors. And that is and I am thanking all the doctors who gathered by giving effort and patience and having the patience, but for giving all us a lot of great speech.
What's your name, ma?
Siddharth.
Siddhartha. Thank you. Thank you very much, Siddhartha. Round of applause for Siddhartha. Tell your name first.
Good evening to everyone. My name is A. Today, firstly, I want to thank the doctor for organizing this program. And I felt very well of the program for creating an awareness. I understood that not to go against women and not to do violence, whether physically or emotionally. Thank you, everyone.
అమ్మాయిలకి ఇవ్వండి, క్లోజ్ చేసేద్దాం.
Good evening, everyone. And myself, Amarna from Class 10. I have a small question for you. Being a girl also, I'm asking for girls. And don't mind I'm talking in Telugu because I can express in very clearly in Telugu. అమ్మాయి అయ్యింది కూడా మ్యారేజ్ అయిన తర్వాత పెళ్ళైన తర్వాత ప్రెగ్నెంట్ అయినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ నాకు అబ్బాయిలే కావాలి అండ్ మాకు ఫస్ట్ అమ్మాయిలు వద్దు, సెకండ్ ఎవరైనా ఓకే. వై లైక్ దట్? ఎందుకు ఫస్ట్ అమ్మాయిలు ఉండకూడదు అనుకుంటారు? అండ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ అమ్మాయిలు నాకు ఒక ఛాన్స్ చాలు
morning. So I'm really very thankful to everyone that came today, the doctors, the teachers, the teaching staff, and non-teaching staff and the students from the school. And also I'm very thankful to the doctors who made their office and came here for us. And they also teach very important of our life. So we can learn it and we can we protect our future generations. Thank you, Dr. Please.
Okay, good evening everyone. I am very happy class. Today I am here to share about my thoughts. I am thanking the special thanks to the doctors who gave their time to hear, to tell about the violence against the women. I am telling thanks to all the parents who have been studying the girl child, so that girl child can stand strongly in the society. Because of that, girl child can prove that she is strong and she can do anything. Because of that, the gender equality will be started. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I am the student from class 10 people. I came to here to speak 2 minutes. తెలుగులో
చెప్పండి.
ఇంత మంచి ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేసిన అందరూ ఒక 2 minutes సైలెంట్ గా ప్లీజ్ రా బాబు, ఇంపార్టెంట్, అసలే టెన్షన్ వస్తుంది. అంటే సొసైటీ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అన్నాను. వాళ్ళని ఎప్పుడు మనం ఇబ్బంది పెట్టకూడదు. తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి ఇష్టాన్ని పనులు చేయకూడదు. ఇవన్నీ మనం జనాన్ని కూడా చూసుకుంటే ఇవన్నీ తగ్గిపోతాయి. ఇంట్లో ఆడవాళ్ళకి కూడా మంచిగా ఉండాలి. ఒకళ్ళ మీద వేసే ముందు ఆలోచించాలి. ఆడవాళ్ళు వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు ఒక ఎత్తే వాళ్ళు ఎప్పటికైనా దయ తగ్గాలి. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు ఆడవాళ్ళు.
ఏం చేయండి.
So we thank the school management, principal, and everyone who cooperated. And then we thoroughly enjoyed the program. It has been a good interactive session. Thank you so much. And then
Principal sir.
Yeah, I request the principal to say a few words regarding the program, how useful it is for you.
Madam, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of all the children, management, teaching, and non-teaching staff, it's my duty to thank this whole team of doctors who have taken a lot of pain, leaving all the patients and their other medical related work, come over here to educate the most important topic, which is the top of the hour all over the world, that is violence against women. It's a very sensitive topic, and throughout this program, one thing I have understood, that girls are special. They are no way inferior to the boys. It is the responsibility of all the families, all the children, especially the boys who think that they are inferior and they can't come up to the standard or expectation that the world expects. And coming to the girls, it is the duty and responsibility of each and every girl to speak up, step out, and join this campaign, which has been started by a team of doctors. Stop violence against women. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles always begins with a single step. Your single step can bring a great change to this campaign and this program. Thank you everyone. God bless you all.
Thank you, Principal Sir. Thank you, all the students. At this odd hour, you listened patiently to us for these 2 hours. We hope we have at least brought a minuscule of change in your thought. We hope that you people will help us build a better society, a gender neutral society. We are ending the program here today. Thank you very much, Sriman.
Welcome, madam.